Hey, what's up? Quick disclaimer before watching this episode. We had a lot of technical difficulties when recording this and ended up losing a bunch of audio that we recorded with our microphone. Luckily, the internal mic on this camera that we use to record the podcast with isn't bad. It's just kind of tinny, but I ended up still using it for like about half of the episode. So I have that and audio that we recorded with the mic that we were able to salvage. Edited together. So, yeah. So, apologies for the inconsistency with the audio of this episode. But, yeah. You have something in your ass?
There's like the metal frame of the couch one's right here. I'm just trying to get like
I have the beam
situated like right where it doesn't just tear up my ass.
You got the beam? You're like...
I'm like balancing.
Alright, well...
The difference between me and Dakota is he loves his ass torn up.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's we got like that kind of dichotomy going on for this podcast.
Yeah.
We got
a guy that doesn't love his ass torn up. We got a guy that does.
And what good podcast doesn't have that, you know?
Yeah.
Name
One of us only tells truth, the other one loves getting his ass torn up.
Like, one more.
I never get to do the
Could you... One day...
You're ruining them.
Whoa! Let there be light.
That happens sometimes.
What's up? You're watching Backlog Media. This is a video podcast where we like to talk about movies, video games. Those are the big two, but we also talk about other stuff like comics and whatnot. I'm Ethan. I'm the host tonight. Ant hosted last time. Did an amazing job, but we were like, nah, we gotta switch it back.
You're on thin ice.
You're on thin ice? Or I'm on thin ice?
You're on thin ice.
I'm doing something.
They're fighting.
Dad.
We're rascals, aren't we?
What's your name?
Rascal.
We're a rascal.
Not a rascal.
I'm
Not a
Claire.
rascal.
Oh, well.
Oh, you gotta wait for them to
rascal.
put the leg down, put the attitude away, and...
Do you want some of this?
I'm Claire. This is my first time in front of the camera. Usually I just yell dumb shit from off screen.
Normally you're the Google assistant, is what you said the first episode, I think.
Well, I haven't really Googled anything yet.
Yeah, but like...
But I could. I'm there and I could Google things for you guys if you wanted.
Exactly.
I didn't take advantage of that service more.
Google?
Yeah,
Yeah, guys,
just
check out
demand
Google.
Googles. Have you guys checked out Google?
It's pretty
lately?
obscure.
They need the support right
Yeah, Google,
now.
come on guys, help out Google.
They're hanging by.
You might see
They have a
those like
Patreon.
yeah, you might see those pre-roll ads that are like, "Hey, do you want an alternative to Google?" Skip it. Skip it as soon as they ask you.
Yeah, skip ad.
Yeah.
Ask Jeeves is trying to tear down Google's house and we won't have it.
Ask Jeeves is back?
Yeah, and he's back.
And he came out swinging, and he's mad.
He's been training in the hyperbolic time chamber for all these years. He's so strong now.
Oh man, what's he look like now?
You don't want to look.
Is his suit like gone? Like, is that ripped out?
It's like tearing apart.
Yo.
So here's the thing.
Near nude.
Near nude?
Near
I
nude.
want full nude, come on.
Well, you know,
We'll donate.
So
Yeah.
I actually do use an
Donate to the
alternative to
podcast.
Google is the thing.
Bing?
No.
Ask Jeeves?
No.
Netscape.
It's called Ecosia and
What the
it's
fuck?
carbon neutral.
Are you kidding?
What the fuck?
Wait, are you
What is
actually...
No, I'm not kidding.
What does that even mean?
Oh, that's what I was referencing.
It's
They-
carbon neutral.
They plant trees.
Like every time.
They use that
makes
revenue.
no
Every time
sense.
you fight,
And
every
I
time you
don't-
search something, you get a tree.
And I
fully
don't
grown.
feel like old man Google is looking over my shoulder.
Old man Google?
I mean, if you don't want old man Google looking, you have to use DuckDuckGo.
Yeah, I've heard of that one too.
They're
What's
very privacy based.
What's that? GoDaddy?
DuckDuckGo.
DuckDuckGo. Not Go.
GoDaddy
Not,
is a site.
What the hell actually is
GoDaddy.
They host
GoDaddy,
websites.
yeah, that's-
Their
GoDaddy.
ads like fucking suck.
Yeah.
They're the people that pay Danica Patrick so she doesn't have to like live on the streets.
Sega did for a while.
What's your
Oh yeah.
Sonic also does you transformed. You can play as Danica Patrick.
Also-
Or the picture of her.
Pocket
Right here.
Bike Racers. Burger King also had her on payroll.
Oh
Fucking
yeah.
What's your name?
I'm Dakota. Hey, here's a little fun Albert Fish fact.
Oh man! Oh yeah!
Yeah.
We promised this
I
last time.
promised.
Well, Godzilla.
I made
did.
a little
Consistent.
promise.
Sorry, Zilla.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm
Yes.
fucking this up.
Yeah. You messed up her name before.
Yeah, I know.
Perhaps the most well-known Albert Fish urban legend is that he had so much metal in his anus, then when they executed him via electric chair, that he shot sparks out of his butt like a Roman candle.
Oh, I have heard that.
That didn't happen, but should it have?
Yes. I'm more.
And that's Eric.
I agree.
Aw, we all got a little say. Well, I didn't. But it's fine.
Well, everyone can vote.
Everyone can vote on it. Yo, go to
Yeah.
hit up our social media, tweet at us.
Albert
and-
Fish, yes or no?
Albert Fish, yes or no?
Executions should be funnier.
Well, comment that or retweet
They're
it.
unethical unless it's funny.
Yes.
Violence is funny in the right context.
I think it's
fair.
always funny.
I think it's always funny.
Like the Three Stooges.
Yeah. I learned recently that Larry got a pen pushed into his forehead and it really happened. And he got really angry because he bled a lot.
I learned recently that Curly was the original Ihigo. Throw up some
Oh.
cool curly faces.
Oh no.
Literally any curly face. Like three of them.
It's a little known fact, but during the filming of Three Stooges, virtually every episode, Curly would orgasm.
Yeah, well that's, his eyes go in different directions. He goes, whoop, 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 whoop. And that's how you know it happened.
Yeah, they actually edited out like an audible...
You know the bit when he falls on the ground and he starts like running in place and spinning and making the whoops?
Yeah.
It's just continuous that whole time. He died and they had to bring in Shem.
Death via dehydration, I assume.
You had to bring in what?
Yeah. Oh, after Curly owed himself into an early grave,
Yeah.
he like blew a blood vessel in his brain, and they had to bring in Shemp.
Who's that?
He's the fourth stooge.
Yeah.
Wait, is that real?
Yes.
Yeah, Curly died.
There's also Curly Joe.
I was about to tell Ethan that I had a weird dream that one of them died and got replaced by a guy named Shemp, but that
Dude,
wasn't.
Oh no, that was
real.
Your dreams
Was that-
are retroactively.
No, is that like trivia that got brought up recently? Did I not?
No.
This was never talked about here.
I've never.
dreams just came true.
Yeah. Congrats
Claire,
on
you're tapping
congrats
into
on
something.
Claire, you finally spent your one dream come true. How's it feel?
Yeah.
So you were having this conversation because I'm like on new medication and my dreams have been wild.
Why are they about Shemp?
It's on the bottle. You might have a dream about Shem.
You might
Did
dream
you-
real trivia about.
The Three Stooges, and that's all you'll dream.
Hey, your hair's down.
Yeah.
That's so cute. That's the first time it's been like that on the podcast.
It
That's
has
true.
been in a ponytail every time we do the podcast.
It's down because it's not 90 degrees every day now.
Oh my god, yeah.
You
It's
look so
getting a
much
little, getting a little
prettier
chillier where we film now.
It's
which is
also
nice.
very golden because I was in the sun for 13 straight hours last weekend.
I feel like when I said it's prettier, that sounded condescending. I meant it, but I didn't mean it.
I felt like you meant it.
I did mean
I
it.
feel like you don't talk down to me a lot. Sometimes.
I've had a different haircut every time I've been on the podcast so far, which is like mildly funny to me.
We'll cut his hair live on the podcast sometime.
What
We'll
was-
take turns.
There are people out there that would like that.
I'm sure they would.
Oh,
you
come
can
on.
buy the hair, actually.
You can buy Ethan's hair.
They sell little grab bags of it. You could do whatever you want
Get a
with
big
it.
cartel page going.
I really didn't like. You can do whatever you want
Hey.
with it. That is weird to me.
There's
Well,
there's a little-
whatever you do, don't eat Ethan's hair.
We'll be
Was there
Ethan's
any?
hair.
Ethan will be real sour if you eat his hair.
Was there any hair eating in this certain kind of movie themed extravaganza you had recently?
Oh yeah, the
Oh, I'm wearing a shirt.
You're wearing your shirt. You're like, what?
I went to Universal Studios for the first time. It
Hope
was
nobody
really
ate your
hot, and I went to Halloween Horror
whoa,
Nights.
whoa.
Everyone look at my shirt. It's got all your favorite guys. It's got Green Ghost, it's got Vampire, it's got the Wiggler, and Dog.
I like them.
It was really, really, really cool.
Now, what actually is it? Because I had not heard this until
It
you came in
is-
today with
Yeah,
a T-shirt of it.
It is a thing that Universal Studios, the theme park, does every Halloween season, starting in September and going to November, where at about 5 o'clock at night, they convert the entire park into like a Halloween park.
Ooh.
So they have things called scare zones, which are like ambient areas with scare actors who will just like chase you down and just like spook you.
Ambient scare
of,
zone.
with like lots of props and stuff. Like they had a Viking area that had like people that were like blood eagled and like bodies.
What?
flailed.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
Whoa! That's intense.
I have pictures of this. Yeah.
I actually want to see those because what?
Yeah, no, it's really neat. And like they had one based on like Zombieland Double Tap this time, which is really more based on the first movie.
That's the new Zombieland coming out, right?
Yes.
Because when they announced that, I
But
was
they,
like,
I walked
what?
by and they had like a truck crash with like snowballs falling out of it, and they had like 25 people or whatever just like chasing you down. And
Okay.
they had a whole area based on Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe, which was actually the coolest of them all. Because it was just a lot of Rob Zombie nonsense. It was just a lot of like go-go dancers and fire, and Dracula was there.
Oh my god.
Were the two devil men that run down the street from Dracula there?
Maybe, because they change what happens every song.
Oh.
So I was there for Living Dead Girl, and the titular girl did show up.
Wait, like a different song plays and they like have different stuff
Yes. Yes,
You
it
should
changes.
You should go there.
It changes.
I really wish I could have.
I got to sit.
This
in
is
Dra-
my bullshit.
I got
too.
to sit in Dracula, but the main attraction is they do haunted houses, like kind of like walk through dark things, where all the effects are like Hollywood grade. So it's like super high end special effects, super high end props and prosthetics. I did one based on Stranger Things season 2 and 3. I did one based on the original Ghostbusters, and I did one based on Killer Clowns from Outer Space. The latter being my favorite of them all.
Damn.
Because those clowns are rascals.
Little rascals.
My block was threatened to be knocked off, which was pretty nice.
Oh, very
Yeah,
nice.
when you first walk in, they have a shorty. He comes out with the boxing gloves, and he just like does this, and you walk by, and the head's in the trash can. They put in Clownzilla. They put in the giant horrible flesh golem from Stranger Things. Spoiler, I guess. There's a flesh golem.
Didn't this
And
come
so-
up
I haven't
before?
seen season 3 yet.
Well, sorry, Claire.
I haven't actually seen.
Well, I can't watch it now that I know there's a flesh golem.
I haven't actually seen the entire show
Claire
at all.
is
yet.
very specifically phobic of flesh golems.
What's that called?
It's tormented her entire life.
What's that called? Flesh golem phobia?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fleshgolemphobia.
That sounds bad.
It does. It sounds like a disease. Stay Puft Marshmallow Man showed up too. The Library Ghost showed up. The Library Ghost scared me a lot as a little boy.
Me too.
I walked into that part of the house. You walked through the library. It was neat because the books on the shelves were like going in and out. And then I saw a screen at the end that had her, and she's like beckoning, and I'm like, "Don't do this to me." And then I walked through a very dark hallway, and I was personally targeted. The wall burst open, strobe lights flashed, and the Library Ghost got about this close to me, and I considered bawling up and crying because I'm just like, no, don't do it.
just
But then
so
I walked through the door, and Venkman was there, and he's like, "We gotta bust these ghosts," and then I screamed. That was scarier.
The city library used to have like this like more basement-y area that I used to go into as a kid, and I was always afraid the library ghost was gonna like get me.
That's a valid fear.
Yeah.
But they had like they had Gozer's dogs, and they would pop out of the walls. They were all animatronic and stuff. It was really cool. Check it out if you're in Orlando.
Yeah, I've never actually been to Universal Studios.
That was my first time going there too. It was neat. I didn't.
Oh wow! What a first time there.
Yeah, I didn't meet Hagrid, so that was a shame.
Aw.
Hagrid did smile and wave at me after our ride though.
Oh well, that's something.
Yeah.
Keep that close.
You didn't meet Hagrid, but like he acknowledged you.
Right. I mean, I was hoping maybe for Christmas you can sit on his lap, or enter like Hagrid's hut and do whatever.
They stick candy
Do
canes to his
whatever.
beard. They stick candy canes to his beard, and you can eat them off.
Yeah, you just lick him out.
Yeah. I don't want to lick Hagrid out though.
Well, speak for yourself.
Oh, okay. I mean, hey.
I need my roughage.
I haven't seen any movies personally recently.
Neither have I.
You three saw something, right?
Yeah.
Something that I forgot came out like to begin with, and Aunt, you saw it too,
So
right?
did the world.
Yeah, like
So did
nobody
the world.
knew about it or saw it.
Wasn't it like badly promoted? I think you mentioned this word earlier.
I saw a poster for it like maybe like 4 months ago, and then I saw nothing about it until a coworker's like, "Yo, man, you gonna go see Ready or Not?" I'm like, "Fuck is that?"
Yeah, I saw
And then
nothing
I saw-
about it till it was at the drive-in.
I saw a trailer for it before something that we all saw. I'm sure it was
Did you? Because I don't. Well,
I'm sure it was a good movie because I don't remember what it was.
I think it might have been Ma. I don't know.
No.
It was something or other.
because I definitely didn't see a trailer.
I did not
for
see a
it.
trailer.
What did you guys think about this? Because it didn't. I remember seeing one trailer and it didn't look that interesting to me.
Okay, see,
And
I'm
you guys
like,
were all pretty good on it, right?
yeah, I'm like at a point where I'm like personally offended that it didn't get promoted at all because I really liked it.
Damn.
It's it's very, very fun. It reminds me a lot just in terms of the way it feels of Your Next, in that it's like packaged as kind of, it's not really packaged as a slasher movie, but it like has this sort of feel where it's like going to be about this person who is like going to go through a lot of miserable shit, and they do, but there's always this like drive behind the character and specifically the performance of said character, and it's like, I don't know, it's like a really cathartic movie.
It kicks ass.
It's really good. Yeah, it's very, very funny. Like it's like I didn't expect it to be like a pretty much just.
Is it basically a horror comedy?
It's like it's more. It's like
It's
a black
something
comedy.
more yeah, it's got
So
some
the
black
one thing I want to
comedy
add
elements.
about this is, and maybe this is a spoiler, but I really don't think it is. If someone told me this movie was about a girl who's underprivileged murdering rich people, I would have been so on board with this so much sooner.
That's what it is.
This movie
Yeah.
fucking rules.
It's
Damn.
yeah. It's
That's all I'm gonna say.
No, because I feel like and I could be misremembering, but like it seemed just like, oh, they took a... It's about like hide and seek or something, right?
Yeah, so she has to play hide and seek with them. The idea is like you gotta play a game
Yeah.
on the night of your wedding because she's joining their family. She's marrying.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Well, that's
She's
what
wearing like the wedding dress and in the whole thing.
it went in one ear and out the other because
Okay.
it really seemed like, I don't know, from the trailers and stuff, it just seemed like, we took a kids game or we took like a thing that shouldn't be scary
No,
and made it
okay,
scary.
so-
And that's a valid reaction because of movies like
Yeah.
Truth or Dare.
That's the
Yeah,
thing. I when I
Yeah.
saw the, that is actually the exact.
Truth, no,
oh
Truth,
yeah,
Truth or Dare sets up.
Oh.
They set up like a sequel that would be hide and seek.
Oh yeah.
So very reasonable.
No,
Okay,
when
so
Truth or Dare is very funny for wrong reasons. It's no Wish Upon.
No.
oh, Wish Upon, we got so
Michael
drunk.
Scrungus.
So
Towards the end of Wish
drunk.
Upon, we got so drunk that like I was
Well-
missing parts of it because I was just losing
Me
my
too.
mind.
I think
You started talking to me about like a book, I think.
that makes sense. No, that sounds right.
You told me about like a completely different thing. I kept looking over and like
No, that makes
she's getting
yeah.
hit by a car or something ridiculous and Wish Upon. God.
I got chatty drunk.
No, but yeah.
Does Audrey Horne get like scalped in that movie?
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she.
Spoiler for a bad movie. Doesn't matter.
Nobody cares.
It
Nobody
sure
cares
is,
about Wish
uh,
Upon.
Garbage disposal, isn't it?
Yeah, she gets her hair cut in a garbage disposal.
Yeah,
and, like,
the rest
And then no,
your neck gets snapped.
but she doesn't get the house catches on fire. You think she's gonna die from the garbage disposal and her
Yes.
hair being in the garbage disposal, and you
It's-
keep
it's a
waiting
bait
for
and
like
switch.
for her to get scalped or for her neck to snap or something to happen, but then it's like nope, the house is on fire and she burns to death.
She gets stuck in it. But
No.
then, like,
Yeah, like, so she
but then
breaks
it
her neck.
dies.
Does she break
Yeah,
her neck?
it pulls her neck. It pulls her hair, and then her neck like cracks, and then she goes limp, and then the movie forgets that she died for like half of the movie, and then like the girl, like the
Okay,
lead
you've
just
seen
walks.
it twice,
Yeah,
so you're the authority
She just
there.
walks in and she's like, "Oh fuck!" Like halfway
oh
through
yeah,
the movie.
that was the
It's like very funny.
delay there was so fucking bad to me because it's like
40 minutes.
Well, there's-
of the movie
well,
go by, and
well-
then she's like, "Oh Jesus."
well that which is already bad because it's like well that
Nobody-
was a big
nobody
deal and we're
likes
not
to see
reacting to it, but they set up her being like really close with her the whole movie and it's like why didn't she learn about that? Why didn't the movie like have her learn about that quicker?
Yeah, we can talk about Wish Upon.
We no.
We
no,
like,
some
shouldn't
other
talk
time.
about
Can we
Wish
talk
Upon.
about
I don't. Well, I don't want to. I want to.
No, I'm talking about Ready or Not.
Ready.
yeah, ready or not, but no,
So,
yeah.
so,
it-
so the premise with Ready or Not is that the protagonist, Grace, marries into her fiance's like extremely like terrifyingly rich family, and they've got this thing where if you join the family, you've got to play a game. You got to pick a card out of the devil box and play a game.
Is it really called the Devil Box?
No, it's not.
Okay.
It
I
might
mean-
as well be.
I mean, sure. I don't want to like go into too much about like
wonder
the
what-
whys and hows because I think
Yeah.
you should see
I
it.
don't know what other games are in the double box.
Well, it's established that chess is there and Old
Twisted
Maid is
Metal.
there. But if you pick hide and seek, that's the bad one.
Wait, so the others are good ones? The good games?
Oh, the
Yeah,
rest
it's not
are
really
good.
established. It seems like the other ones though, like you're fine.
No, yeah.
I'll
No,
play Crash
okay.
2 and
Okay.
go to bed.
If you play chess, it doesn't matter. It's fine. But if you play hide and seek, then they're coming after you with guns.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my god, I thought it was just knives.
It's like a bunch of like 19th century guns of various
Okay.
types, and there's like a crossbow and
Yeah.
anyway. So like it's on her wedding night. Like she's literally still wearing like the big fluffy dress. And one of my my favorite sort of like aesthetic things about the movie is like I've talked about this before, but like the sort of like gradual degradation of the wedding dress. You know, it's
Okay.
like this gorgeous fluffy dress, like pure white. You know, it's a fucking wedding dress. You know, and it's just like as the movie progresses, it just.
It's more like
I don't know, I
pattern
feel like it's like
stuff.
such a good like visual symbol for all the shit she's like wading through.
It's like brown by.
Yeah.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
It's completely like brown by the end of the movie.
How would you guys say it's like cathartic? Because you mentioned that before.
It really all comes through her performance.
Who
she's
is
so-
it? Is it a well-known actress or?
Her name is Samara Weaving. She's Australian,
Niece of Hugo Weaving.
apparently. Yeah.
That's one of those names I know, but I've never watched.
He played
Red Skeleton?
yes, actually.
Yeah.
He played Red Skull. He also played Agent Smith in The Matrix.
Oh wait, yes, okay, that's the one I know.
Well,
yeah.
one
She's the one
people
everyone
most
thinks-
known for is Megatron from Transformers.
Oh yeah, Megatron,
Just
dude.
the first one though.
Is he really only in the first one?
Yeah, because he has this attitude of like, I'm not fucking doing sequels, so
Mhm.
he's only in the first one, and I think they just use voiceovers from the first movie into the second one.
Oh, that's really good.
What?
I could be
Is it like the
totally
same
off
lines
base on
and
it.
shit? Oh my
I
god.
mean, to be fair, I feel like he slammed the eject button at a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. How many of those did they
didn't
make?
get better. Transformers?
There were 5, right?
5.
I don't want to talk about.
We're not talking about Transformers. We're not getting into Transformers.
What's
That made
Actually, someday I would like to, but
someday you would love
this
to.
movie's really good and deserves to be talked
Okay,
about.
yeah.
So Samara Weaving in particular is really good and deserves to be talked about because she really sells. She kills it.
Mm.
We were like talking afterwards about like just her scream.
Mm.
Killer. Like there's this scream that she does towards the end of the movie that's like it's like a war cry. It's got this like vibrato and like.
No, there's little shit like that like matters, you know, like even just the sound of like a
her
scream
as like
or something like that.
as like a horror actress.
Mhm.
I would love to see her like in more horror roles.
Her scream at I don't want to like dig into like any spoilery stuff really, because I want people to check out the movie and like have a good old time with it.
It's a really good movie.
But yeah, her scream is like really interesting, because she like really puts herself into the scream, and like it only shows up like partway through the movie, but then it continues and it like goes through like a couple of different kind of like emotions, and the way that she actually does the scream, she puts like a ton of vibrato in it, so it almost feels like it's like echoing like out of the screen.
Oh wow!
Like it's like really fun. Like it's just like this like vibrating like.
Yeah, there's one towards the end that like really gets that, and it's like this totally like it's this total like feral like war cry. Like she's like a total beast.
The first thing I thought of was like Bloodborne almost.
Ooh,
what in
Bloodborne?
just like a boss or something.
Like the cleric beast?
Yeah, like the cleric beast. Just this big like echoing like.
Yeah. Oh, Amelia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, Amelia. Amelia screams the whole time.
Because it's such like a guttural like.
Yeah,
I
would love to see her do more horror shit. I think I already said that, but
she hasn't been in a ton, right? Because I hadn't actually heard of her.
She's been on like
I think
some.
This is like her second film.
She's been in like some Australian. She's Australian. She's been in like some Australian TV shows or something.
The writing is also especially good. Like it's a very like funny movie that doesn't like try to beat you over the head with its wit. It's just like it feels very naturally funny.
Well, like the humor, because the humor doesn't detract in any way from
Yeah,
the horror
performances
either. Like
the performances are all really good, and it's just there's so many little things that I remember that are like. I don't know, a lot of the time this kind of thing falls flat, like in terms of just the delivery of punchlines, that sort of thing, but all the characters feel like pretty well defined, all things considered, and even just like the deadpan like back and forth between our main character and her husband-to-be at the very beginning of the movie, like it feels natural and it's like actually kind of funny and endearing, and it does a good job of making them feel like characters and or like people and not just like cutouts.
Yeah.
A movie like this, it kind of like lives and dies on that, I guess.
One of the characters I really enjoy out of like the baddies is this like real like new money guy called Fitch.
Oh yeah, another guy who
Fred
married.
Flintstone.
Yeah, I like him. I like him a lot because
the
he sucks. He like sucks so much. He's like I want to get into it a whole bunch, but he doesn't really want to be there.
But he's one of the ones who's like. Fighting.
Well, it's like he is a character is like very fun. He pulls some pretty good bits.
Okay.
I like a couple of his bits.
I wish movies like this were just like this goes back to what I was talking about before, but I wish movies like this were like build better.
Oh, me
like,
too.
When wasn't everything I was saying before where it just seems like a cheesy, shitty like mainstream
Kids game
horror
good,
movie.
but scary.
Yeah. Well, I saw it, and I think I actually confused it with Truth or Dare in my memory, just because like similar shit.
Oh my god.
Wasn't what the hell was it called? Wasn't the movie Game Night like this? It was legitimately good.
That was like a comedy that was actually good, which is
so it wasn't a
Was it?
horror movie,
Yes.
but it was.
Game Night was good from what I heard. I
didn't see it. I saw.
But, it had the same like
trailer
just
for
generic fucking comedy trailer.
Yeah.
Like, his friends they get drunk and he fell down.
Here's the part where we're gonna. Here's the part where I'm sorry. Rock, paper, scissors, or shoot. Or shoot. I said. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh fuck.
Okay,
Hold up there,
Okay.
Sonic. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. All right.
What were we
Do you
talking
remember
about?
what you were gonna fucking say?
No, not.
I do fucking gotcha.
A year ago.
Fucking
Talking about Game Night.
gotcha.
Oh, I was gonna say, hey, did you guys see The Hangover? There you go. You can do yours now.
The momentum's gone. Anyway.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, no,
Should
I
have won.
Shouldn't have done rock, paper, scissors.
you won, I guess.
They should have fought.
We should have fought
Yeah.
right here.
Fist fight.
We could fist fight.
You got wrestle. I'm fresh out of Florida. You know, I still got that water in me.
Oh no. Florida water will do it to you.
I saw a lot of cool stuff in Florida. This is very tangential, but I definitely saw a guy on a motorcycle lift his visor and a fountain of dip spit left his mouth.
Oh, hell yeah.
He didn't spit it though. He just like went.
Oh, that's the way the cookie
poured.
crumbled.
Oh
Gentle
man.
waterfall.
It was a gentle waterfall.
In-
I could have filled a cup with it, like 100%.
Oh, fuck.
In my mind,
Oh, I don't like that.
Quaff deep from the Florida man's juice.
in my mind, I thought you were gonna say that he lifted his helmet and there was like a skeleton. And I was
That
like
would've-
very excited.
That would have been more appealing.
Yeah. Next time we tell the story, make it a skull.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was thinking he lifted his helmet and then like snorted some coke.
I mean, he may
That
have.
was my vision.
And also, he was a skull.
God.
He was a
What-
big skull in
what-
outfit.
what- what-
Fountain
what-
dip.
What if Ghost Rider pulled up beside me, snorted some coke, and then poured dip spit out of all of his bone holes?
God. What the fuck was I even talking about? All these movies that are apparently actually good are billed as like these generic, shitty horror movies.
So here's the thing that I've been thinking about, especially with Ready or Not, but to an extent, You're Next. You're Next is also kind of a black comedy, not quite as overtly as Ready or Not, but like with Ready or Not, I don't know if like a studio really knows how to sell something like it, because it really is like almost 50-50, like a comedy, like a black comedy and like horror.
Okay.
And it's genuinely funny throughout. It lands.
But it's also
constantly.
genuinely scary.
Yeah, but it's also really scary. The problem with it is like most major studio comedies these days just fucking tank. They don't even make them anymore for the most part. So like the question becomes, how do you market this as comedic to like a general audience? Can you like
without making it look stupid.
yeah, without
Yeah.
also like it's weird and difficult, and I feel like a lot of the time they just don't want to dedicate like a lot of like time to figuring out how to market it. Some of these
I feel like
things.
a lot of general audiences get confused by the genre horror comedy too. Like you don't see a ton of it in like the mainstream, I guess. I don't know.
I feel like it's been coming up a little bit more,
I don't
but
think the mainstream audience really jumps on horror unless it's related to The Conjuring at this point for the most part.
God.
Or if it's about like someone getting possessed.
The first Conjuring is like okay, but
First Conjuring
barely.
was decent.
The second one is like a crazy action movie,
I've-
and there's like
I mean,
nothing
the
to
plus
it. In my
side is that
opinion.
like Jordan Peele's movies like make money, which is like
Yeah.
startling
Yeah.
to me because you know there's actually
Yeah.
some substance.
Yeah, because Get Out is what my favorite movie. My favorite movie of 2017 was Blade Runner 2049, which is like one of my favorite movies. Period.
Yeah, same
But
here.
Get Out, like close second. Like Get Out is phenomenal.
I mean,
And
like we saw us in like a
we all saw
in
Us
like
together,
a
yeah.
Us was
theater
really
full
good.
of like people who were like getting rowdy, and it was fun.
It
as
was like a
hell.
rowdy like group that like you would think
I
would go
was
to like a
not
more of a
part of
generic
that. Well,
comedy.
yeah, and
you couldn't go to that.
I saw it after the fact. I don't remember what was going on.
Well,
I think it was sick or something.
But they were like rowdy in a good way. Like I was really into the experience of seeing us with like people who are like laughing at the funny parts and screaming at the scary parts. And that's also a movie that kind of does horror
I
really
like
well,
that-
but also the comedy works.
I liked
Yeah.
it for that.
It's not as much of a comedy as Ready or like it doesn't have as much comedy elements as Ready or Not does.
I need Tim Heidecker to be in more horror movies.
He was great.
kind of desperately because he's really good as the jerk and also as a monster.
Yeah, no, he was awesome in that. With Us, and we're getting into something I want you to talk about, Eric, in a minute. But like we're like with Us, and there's probably a few others I'm just forgetting. If it's like I don't know how to word this, but like a fun quote unquote horror movie, like
Yeah.
with a lot of
Like,
shit going on. A lot
There's
of
some movies where you like want the audience to be quiet as fuck, but like with us, it was so much fun
That's what
having everyone like. Yeah, I'm
so
sorry.
that's what I'm trying to say. With a
Yeah.
movie that's like really dense and crazy and just off the wall like that, I actually kind of like a group experience like that.
If people made noise during Hereditary, I would kill them.
That's an example of that, or something like.
I don't know how you like could make noise during Hereditary because Hereditary just.
I mean, there are some shitty people that go to movies.
I laughed,
My-
actually.
Oh, yo.
My theater just had fuckers in the back making the tongue noise. The
Oh
like-
my god.
to the point where when I
when you-
saw it my second time, my first viewing was I don't know if that was actually in the movie or if it was the people in my audience.
Oh my
And
god.
then the second time I saw it completely alone in the theater, and
You
it
realized.
was just the fuckers in my
I
audience.
thought you just meant like a tongue noise. So there was just like
no, the hereditary noise.
Yeah, I was sitting next to Eric when we saw Us. He was getting fucking livid when people were like getting mad, like starting to make noise.
Oh
and
yeah.
Was I?
shit. Were you getting livid? I don't know.
Okay.
Eric's
for
face
You
us,
just looked annoyed for us.
for us, I don't know if I was. I think.
Eric clenched his phone so hard he almost broke it.
Smoke came out of his
Yeah.
ears.
Oh no, I don't think I was upset by the audience and us. I think
You actually liked it?
Yeah,
I might be thinking of different movies.
No, I usually do.
Okay, so I'm not that much of a
literally
dumbass.
9 times out of 10, I get really pissed off at audiences because for me personally, I have attention issues, and I also do just like to have an experience where it's just me interfacing with a piece of media and nothing else.
I totally understand because like when I saw Del Toro's Crimson Peak, I had there were two.
Oh
moments.
yeah, no, in my theater too. Yeah.
Tom Hiddleston's butt showed up and everyone went ooh, like they'd never seen a butt in their life.
God.
Maybe it was their first time.
Well, I mean,
it was
think
very
that,
exciting.
I think that a lot of people didn't know that Tom Hiddleston had an ass. At
Yeah,
all.
we finally
Probably
discovered it.
people that
But
just,
I mean, I always.
I just want to get through my second moment really quick.
Yeah.
Second moment was during the final fight, people were treating it like it was like a cage match in like
Christ.
90s WWE. Like someone almost got stabbed.
Get him!
They when someone gets like slightly cut with a knife, they reacted like she full on threw a folding chair at the other person's forehead.
Jesus.
They were just like, whoa! And it was
That's the shit I hate.
I hate that.
It
was
really depends
funny,
on the movie.
but not for the right reasons.
Yeah.
That's how,
like,
that's how
back-
seeing Broly was in a theater.
Oh, well, that's fair.
That's
That's a-
thoroughly under.
I
You're
was
seeing-
watching a fucking wrestling match.
But, like,
and
hell
that
yeah.
ruled.
If people
I
were
just-
stone quiet during Dragon Ball Z, I'd be like,
When I saw Avengers 2012, back when I was like not burnt out on the MCU, it was like pretty fun because I saw it at midnight and we dressed up and there were other people there dressed up and it was just like, you know, we didn't know the movie was going to be like pretty mediocre, so it was just like
And that movie sucks.
but like the experience of seeing it at midnight and thinking like I bet this is going to be a good movie, so everyone's just like so excited to see all their old pals Thor and the Hulk and
it was
America Man
it
all
was
together
exactly
on
what I
screen
expected
together.
it to be.
It totally.
And so like everyone's just like, yeah, they're doing it.
Yeah.
And like that made it a fun experience to watch it. I don't think I've seen Avengers 2012 since then, and I don't want to.
I enjoyed when Thanos showed up and everyone's like, who?
Oh yeah,
Like me, my friend, and like two other people were like, wow. Everyone else was like, purple.
yeah.
That was the whole reaction.
And like one or two of the
What a
friends I
weird
was with, I
chin.
was like, I was able to ask like some of the friends I was with, like, who's that guy?
It doesn't suck, but like in retrospect to the newest Avenger movies, that one is so beyond boring.
A lot of people don't agree with you, but I do actually.
Well, no,
hated-
I would agree with that, but I also don't know if that's totally fair because the other one had like 6 more years and like 30 more characters
But
to add.
I guess as someone who didn't see them at all until the ending of this whole
That
thing,
that I can get because I saw them in a row. I have similar feelings about we're not in video games, but I have the similar feelings about the Halo games where I played through like 1 through 3. I'm like,
What's the hype?
these kind of suck.
I disagree entirely, but I also understand exactly why I do, and that's because I played
Yes.
those as they came out.
I played
actually-
Halo 1 in like 2014. I'm like, this game's a corridor. And Halo 2, like,
it
this
is.
game's a corridor with no story.
Oh man, because I actually want to play those. Because I have also missed
No,
out. on
they
those.
are fun.
They're good. Okay.
The gameplay makes up for all of that.
Okay.
Plus, you have to view them through the lens of like this game was made in like 2000.
Yeah, I usually can get behind that, but like we mentioned on I think it was our test episode, but Metal Gear Solid 1, I like still can't. I try.
I'm a weird dude with a broken brain who prefers to play like Twin Snakes because it just plays better. Real question: why are all like the spooky movies coming out in like August, early September?
There have been a lot of horror movies coming out like in the
Like
Yeah,
Scary
like-
Stories was August. This was like a few weeks ago. It chapter.
Oh
2
yeah, did
just
anybody
came
see
out.
it too?
I don't think anyone's gotten there yet.
I
I
didn't see.
Nobody's
I
gotten there
I
yet.
considered it,
I
but
didn't
like
see it chapter 1.
Neither did I.
Anyone want to see?
No,
chapter
no.
two?
I never saw one.
I
I'm not
will.
interested in it at
out
all.
of curiosity because I saw
Out of-
one.
Out of sheer curiosity.
I saw the first one. I actually kind of enjoyed the first one.
I want to know how they
I hear the
handle.
first one's better.
I want to know how they handle Mike. I want to know how they handle like because I still like one of my criticisms of 1 is that I definitely felt like for the movie and what they did in the movie they had like too many characters and like not enough for a lot of them to do.
Well, good
So a
news,
lot of
this
them-
one's 3 hours long. They got plenty of time for it.
Yeah, I heard it. I hear it drags too, from what I understand.
Yeah.
This is one of the general problems of adapting like a thick ass Stephen King book that he wrote while he was on painkillers.
He was,
like-
when he was on fucking cocaine.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like
no cocaine.
I felt like Mike in particular in it one just was like there. He was just like there, and then he has like the cow killer gun, and that's like his role in that movie is that he has the cow killer gun. he has the thing that can like put a cow down, and that's his role in the movie.
You
I don't
wonder
know.
what he does now in the second one now. Just,
At the end of the day, I just want to support my
I'll-
boy Bill Hader.
Maybe I'll see
because
it.
yeah.
Old Bill should
I'll
get
try to catch it
more.
at the
He should
drive.
get more roles.
Yeah, Bill Hader is like amazing.
I love
I don't
him.
really like SNL anymore. You know,
I never liked SNL to begin with.
I liked it when I was a kid, but what does that say? What does that tell you for a adult show?
I like people who have been on SNL. Like
That's the thing.
Like
That's the thing.
I will see virtually anything with Will Forte in it because I think he's like one of the funniest dudes in general, and he's just not enough.
I'm like that with Bill Hader and like Andy Samberg.
Yeah, Andy Samberg too.
Yeah, you're a big Lonely Island fan.
Oh yeah, like huge. So like yeah.
Not to just to wrap up like the It thing because none of us even seen it, but not to rehash another YouTube channel that has definitely like inspired this kind of stuff. But Jay Bauman of Red Letter Media mentioned he doesn't get how like horror should be like kind of intimate usually. Like it makes you usually feel for the characters and it's kind of like limited.
Lay out some rose petals, that kind of thing.
Like
Yeah,
a lot
you
of
should have
horror
sex with
is
it.
kind of like limited in terms of
I
like,
didn't
the
say
time
that.
frame.
Yeah. Yes.
And,
Yeah.
like, and in
The
terms
time
of like,
the time frame and who
or
you're.
like there's a lot of horror that only takes place like in one building.
Yeah, it is like
Kinda like-
taking the idea of horror and making it like an epic, and like I can see why that could kind of deflate the scares and like the feel of it. I don't know.
I hate
Well, I mean, I
that
think
I'm interjecting so much behind the camera, but like I hate that even the trailer for It Chapter 2 is cut like it's a fucking Avengers movie.
That's what I mean.
All trailers suck.
Yeah,
trailers
They're
suck,
all
though.
bad, and I don't judge movies on them anymore
But,
because
like,
they're all worthless.
That one in it's so obvious what they're doing.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
not doing it with any like bit of nuance to it. It's just we gotta have all the main characters in a storefront standing in line.
I'm going to.
They look cool and they're ready to
I am-
fight the bad guys.
I am going to propose a question. I don't disagree with you. What was the last trailer you thought was nuanced that wasn't Midsommar?
Hereditary.
I mean, well, I don't watch trailers. Like, I think the last.
I don't watch them either. They are forced. They are thrust upon me when I'm at a movie theater.
I think the
generally.
last time I went to a movie with you specifically was Child's Play, and I got up and walked out during the Midsummer.
You
trailer.
did.
Oh
I
yeah,
said-
And the
I heard
Midsummer
about
trailer
that.
is actually very subtle and gives you nothing.
I'm gonna step up to bat for the It 2 trailer because it's
defend it?
Yeah, I'm gonna defend it. I'm gonna defend it because it is the only piece of media that I've seen that gives you like the POV of like an old woman's vagina, and that's like
You're
a
talking
really
about the other trailer. Wait, is it the different?
No, it's the regular trailer.
It's the It 2 trailer where she comes waddling and the camera's like right here.
Yeah.
She comes a
That's
waddling.
right in the beginning.
She comes a waddling and Bev's like, oh, so like.
And then the music starts.
Yeah, and
oh my
the
God.
music starts. And it's like supposed to be really scary.
I'm remembering
that trailer is like one of the funniest.
It's very
things.
funny.
Okay, I actually thought
It's the
the little
moment.
bit
It's the
of her
moment that
peeking out
the
was
music
creepy.
changes and she's just like.
Oh, she does like a silly like walk across the hallway, and it's like,
Okay.
yeah, get him.
You know what? If I saw that by myself, I probably wouldn't have thought anything of it. I would have thought, that's kind of creepy. You guys cracking up when we were watching it. Like, I don't even remember what movie we were watching. But we were all seeing the movie together, and you were all like... I was like, it's funny now, I guess. And it was. Like, it legitimately was funny after that. So, deflated. Well, did you guys have anything else to say about Ready or Not or any other tangential film?
Please see the movie if you have a means to see the movie.
It's a really good take on the final girl like trope in horror films, and Samara Weaving fucking rules.
It kicks ass. I'll say it a third time. I want to see.
No,
her
you're
do-
really into it,
I
yeah.
want to see her do more horror shit.
Okay.
Because
Hopefully this like at least gets good reviews and shit and like.
I mean, I hope, yeah.
I think it's been getting
I think-
decent reviews. Yeah,
Okay.
I
It
wanna
seems
talk-
like it's a victim
Just-
of like shitty trailers, honestly.
it's just poorly marketed.
Yeah, the problem just is that people aren't. It's not that people are seeing it and hating it. It's that people aren't fucking seeing it.
Yeah.
Literally, the worst thing about this kind of movie is I think that general audiences would still love it if they actually saw it.
Yeah.
Like, I think people.
It's like a perfect middle ground.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's not like it's like.
The thing that I like the most about this movie actually is that it is just like very like it doesn't overcomplicate itself. It doesn't overcomplicate itself. It doesn't try to like throw in a bunch of like extra spinning plates.
Okay.
It very much like knows what it wants to do. It sets out to do it and then it accomplishes.
Okay.
And I think that's like really nice. I think that like it would be something
I
that you could
definitely-
show like a family or something.
Well-
like somebody in your family, not like a child, but like somebody in your family, like a dad could reasonably enjoy this movie.
Yeah.
Within reason.
Okay.
There was a child at the drive-in when we went and saw it. It was
There's
like
always a child.
they sure
sneak
did
out.
like
Watching some nasty stuff at the
they sure did like say the fuck word like a whole lot right at the very beginning. Well, not a
nasty
whole lot,
little
but they
child.
did like.
There were
A lot of kids swear though. This is the thing.
I don't believe you.
This
Well,
was like
Harsh world you live in.
A pure world.
How
this was like a 5-year-old.
that's a little upsetting. Well,
We saw Eraserhead with a 5-year-old. So
oh my
Yeah.
god.
They'll
Seeing that in
survive.
theaters, though, was, like, amazing.
My mom saw Eraserhead for the first time as a hungover 15-year-old.
He has a
All
funny
right,
baby.
well, we're going to move on from movies to some other stuff,
I
but
want
first...
to talk about Jurassic Park, Land Before Time Part 5.
This is very different.
Yeah.
I actually started doing a marathon of those with from
Did you get
friends.
to Part 5?
No, we watched Part 1.
I don't
Finished
give-
1,
I don't
and we
give
were
a
like,
shit.
that was a good
Which one
movie.
is part 5?
Part 5 is where the AU starts, and things get real gnarly.
Well, there's also an ARG. That got too many dead.
Yeah.
All right, I'm excited.
They
Then
were
we
just,
wa-
they were only kids.
Part,
We
part
watched
5,
the-
I think, is when there's like a little girl brontosaurus and they go on an adventure over the valley and they're looking for something. I actually don't remember what they're looking for. Probably tree
Starleaf, Tree Star. I always call it a star leaf.
They're called tree stars.
Land Before Time Part 5 is the one that takes place in Italy and they're all mobsters.
Yeah.
It always bugged me.
It's
It always bugged me as a kid that they called the sun the big circle because I figured that they would know more about what a sun was than like geometry.
And with that,
when I was a kid, I thought tree stars looked really good, and I was like, lettuce is like tree stars, and I fucking hate it.
I was the opposite. I also thought the tree star looked good, and then I ate lettuce and liked it.
Wow.
I had the positive out. I had the good timeline.
Well, I guess
little heaven hell here.
yeah, I guess that's why our childhoods were so different, Ethan.
And with that, we're gonna go on a break real quick. We have another musical segment this week. This episode,
I
with
always say that,
a friend of mine named Chris. He's the drummer for the band Dork. They are. I think they started in New Paltz. They all went to college. None of you people know these people, so I'm looking over at you.
I love
like,
these guys. They're my favorite.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
sound like dorks.
Got them. So yeah, here's a song from them. They have an EP out. They also have a few singles coming out mid-October, and then we got a new EP coming out beginning of November, roughly. So yeah, check that out if you end up liking this song we're about to play. And yeah, there you go. Anybody else got anything to say?
Rock and
Poop,
roll.
pee, pee.
Rock and roll forever.
Welcome back to...
That was a short break.
Sure was. Welcome back to Backlog Media. Hope you enjoyed that song. And we got a couple of video games we want to talk about. But first, just like Ant talked about Slipknot with Eric, I'm going to talk about a band with Eric now.
And we'll all sit here.
All the music segments should just be directed at you.
It's
no one else, just you.
It's so far 2 for 2. Me and you really like the new Brockhampton record, Ginger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was sure was a record. Like so yeah, coming off of like Iridescence, their last album, which was I don't want to say it was more of the same, but it felt like it was a band that in the midst of a lot of tumult was kind of trying to keep themselves together by doing something that felt familiar and felt like they'd be able to, you know, sort of maintain themselves as they work through some stuff.
For those who don't know, Brockhampton is a hip-hop collective from Texas.
Really, Texas?
Texas, yeah. Stationed in the West Coast. They're a big group of friends. They call themselves a boy band, because they are. And they're great. I love them. Eric likes them too. Duh. And
I hate this band.
You hate this band, dude. And they blew up in 2017 because they put out a mixtape in 2016 that I almost don't count because it honestly just feels like rough. Have you even heard All American?
I've never listened.
It's called
to
All
it.
American Boy Band. That's more of like rough drafts. Like it doesn't feel finished. It's just like, all right, we're a band. We want to make music. Here's some random stuff we made. 2017, they put out 3 records that they made by themselves, like at their house, that are fantastic, perfect quality, called the Saturation Trilogy. They put out 1, 2, and 3, spaced out throughout the year. Phenomenal album. As a trilogy, my favorite album of that year. One of their members was accused of sexual assault, though, after those albums got popular, and the band kicked him out. And which is the right decision, in my opinion, and I'm glad they did. But they were all. It doesn't change the fact they were like really good friends with him, and you know the band was like almost founded on the fact that they were all really good friends. You know, instead of like they addressed it in social media and whatnot, but it didn't really come up on the next album. It almost felt on their follow-up album, Iridescence. It kind of felt just like, okay, he's gone, we're just going to make the same kind of stuff we just made. And that album's great. It's called Iridescence. That one's fantastic. But it definitely felt like, we're going to try to keep doing the same thing we were doing before.
Right.
Ginger is an album that's more of a reaction to that. It's a lot moodier. It's a lot sadder. It's an album about breaking up with a friend, essentially.
Yeah, Ginger is, like... I don't know, I guess I did expect Iridescence to maybe more directly acknowledge something, but it makes perfect sense that it didn't. But I think that, like, that Ginger is really interesting because Iridescence almost lulled me into, like, okay, they're probably going to address it down the line, but they're probably going to continue in a style that is similar to what they've already done, even with Amir in the band. Obviously without him.
Yeah, Iridescence kind of felt like...
feels like that, I think.
Yeah, Iridescence at the time felt like, we're going to address, like, what actually, all this stuff that happened, us dropping from the band, not in the music. We're going to do that and let all the fans know that that's happening, but we're not going to talk about it in the music. We're going to just make more of the same kind of stuff we did before.
Yeah, and then Ginger comes out, and the first couple singles that they had released, I was kind of,
I was lukewarm on them. They seemed kind of like just some they were just some fun hip-hop songs. It felt kind of by the books by them.
Yeah, and that was kind of my vibe, and then, the album proper dropped, and I gave that a listen, just kind of like, I wasn't thrilled about, I wasn't, super hyped about it. It's interesting. I've seen interviews with Kevin Abstract where he's called it, like a summer album, and he says he's, and it's like, it literally looks, sounds like he's just, intentionally telling boldface lies to, the press, because there is not a moment on this album to me that sounds like a summer album. It feels like the album cover.
It feels kind of late fall, almost.
It is dreary. It is somewhat cold.
Yeah, the album cover is actually, the cover art is it's actually one band member and their friend hugging. It's just them. You can barely see their faces. It's just their embrace. That photograph was taken. I've been watching a lot of interviews with them. Mm-hmm. That photograph was taken one night when they were somewhere in Europe doing a tour thing, and not all of them, but most of them were on a rooftop hanging out, and they ended up talking about the stuff breaking up with their, getting Amir Van kicked out of the band, and it was a conversation that lasted literally all night. That picture that was taken is in the morning. They stayed up all night arguing, yelling at each other, crying, holding each other, literally holding each other. And that's a photograph one of them snapped during that. You mentioned when you were listening to it that it was one of those albums that the cover art and the artwork and anything associated with it really matched the mood of the record.
I'd say to a T, yeah. It's very uncharacteristic for them because typically I associate them with really sort of fat production, loud, not necessarily funny all the time, but there's definitely always this slight playfulness to their sound, even when they do get kind of serious.
I think this is actually their most, because with Saturation and Iridescence, they go up and down. They go from really energetic to really sad to really moody to just kind of chill and kind of in that formula for pretty much every album, all 3 of the Saturation albums and Iridescence. Ginger is just mellow, but it feels like it's building to something, and it does.
To kind of just get right into it, what it's building into is is the track Dearly Departed. Like, for me, that feels like the
That's right in the middle, yeah.
Yeah, it's literally, but it's also thematically like the centerpiece of this album. It is where they directly acknowledge this falling out that they've had with one of their ex-members, and it's some of the most impassioned like verses they've done, as one would probably expect dealing with something like that. And it's just kind of the moment where I just kind of stopped and was like, oh wow, this is really something else. Like,
oh yeah, in particular because they all have like that album, because like they're a collective and people don't, you know, there's like at the moment 6 or 7 vocalists, so like it's kind of hard to get like an opinion from everybody. The band is like not just one person, it's like multiple people. They all had different kind of, you know, reactions to it, and you really get that from that song. You know, you have Kevin who like feels like he's really losing a friend, but then you get Dom who's really angry because it went further for him. He found out other things about Amir where he actually, this sounds made up, this member got Dom's friend robbed. He set him up to be robbed. This happened like around when they were first becoming a band. So you hear him just getting angry on it. You hear him like throw the mic and almost break it. He broke the headphones. He actually broke the headphones.
Sounds like he like slams like the sound booth door. Like it's like rough. Whatever it is, it's like they just left that in the track, and it's like it's pretty affecting. A pretty affecting punctuation to that whole thing. It's something else, and I don't know. The rest of the record, like there are moments that like kind of feel like they kind of pull back a little bit on that sort of tension, and they're, you know, the track Sugar is definitely, you were saying it feels
Sugar's my favorite.
Yeah, Sugar would be a good single. I like the
Sugar was gonna be a single, but somebody hacked into Kevin's last FM and leaked it.
Well, you know all this shit.
They leaked it, and he was like, "Fuck you guys! I'm not gonna make it a single now. It's not gonna come out." So he kept it on the album.
Yeah. And I don't know, and the closer is also another one of those moments.
Yeah, Victor Roberts. That shit made me cry because they don't really bring a lot of guest vocalists in, but Dom brought in his friend that he met from Xbox. That because they were starting to rap in like the early 2010s, making just like, you know, SoundCloud shit. But Dom's career went off. He's in like a big band now.
Yeah.
This other guy had to actually stop to deal with like family drama and stuff like that. He like had his life get in the way, and then they were hanging out one time, one of the few times they could actually, like, because they were, like, states away from each other.
Yeah.
Like, one of them flew out to the other one's house and were, like, hanging out. And he showed him a rap about, like, this, like, really deep thing that happened in his life when his, like, parents almost got arrested. And it really, like, affected, when he was 6 or 5 or something like that. And it really, like, affected him. And Dom's like, I have the recording right here. We're going to record you and put you on the album. And it came out, like, so powerful that they made it the ending of the album. And it, like, actually, it doesn't feel like some tacked on, like, oh, here's our friend. It, like, actually, like, reinforces the whole points of the album. Like, Kevin has said like the whole band has said like, oh, this is a really happy album for us, but you listen to it, it's incredibly sad. It's happy for them because it's like therapy for them. They have essentially like dealt with stuff that they didn't really deal with in their art before.
It's like cathartic.
Yeah, it's incredibly cathartic. No, they are like, if you watch interviews with them and hear them talk about this album, they are lively. Like, even when because we mentioned Iridescence didn't really cover that stuff. It's just like by the books, that album by them. They kind of seemed a little sad during interviews. They were like, new album's out, guys. And
well, I mean, the way they've talked about it, like they've also said, like they've outright said, like that it's not really, you know, it was them trying to cope. Like it's, you know,
because it's hard to deal with that kind of thing. Ginger is about how it's hard to deal with that sort of thing.
So they've kind of come out on the other side of it now, kind of.
Yes,
by making that
by actually sitting down and making like this, the sad, reflective album about that situation, they all feel better about it now. And like, I mean, not saying that the thing is like not dulling the effect of what happened, but like they all like just feel a lot better and like they feel like really happy about this record. So
they've kind of worked through it.
Yeah, and because of all this like external stuff that's like associated with the album, it's honestly my favorite album of the year right now, just because of all that shit.
And the last thing I want to talk about real quick is
we can wrap it up from that,
because it's two people talking and a bunch of people being like,
I'm listening.
There's 10 minutes.
Oh, I listen to Ginger, but I don't have anything to say about it.
Really?
I mean, it's like cool, but I can't articulate it as well as like the two of y'all can. So.
Yeah, I like it quite a lot. I like the use of like just like the weird sort of like melancholy like use of acoustic guitar in the opening couple tracks,
like in No Halo and Sugar and shit.
Yeah, it's a very specific vibe that it really actually nails, I think. And again, when we get to Dearly Departed and a lot of tracks that sort of surround it, there's like this use of like both samples and like actual like I forget the member, like
Oh, I know whatever you're talking about.
yeah, like in Dearly Departed, he does the why, like
Oh,
that.
Joba? Yeah, Joba.
That's like
Yeah, because all he says is why. Like he literally he's just
it's
really...
like it's like these like straight up like soul performances, and it's
the music video to that
else.
is an intervention for Amir. They put a camera where Amir would be sitting if he was there, and they
that's what that's about.
They each get up and go to the
Okay.
camera one by one, and then walk away, and then Dom like knocks the camera over because when he gets like to the angry part, and it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's just this album like runs the gamut. I love it so much.
Yeah, and it's definitely the kind of thing I had to listen a couple times to really pin down how I felt about it.
Did you guys play a game called Control? Several people were talking about this shit.
Did.
What is this shit? You've told me about it a little bit.
So I'm like really on my bullshit because I love everything that Remedy has ever made.
What else? I'm not actually familiar.
Remedy made Max Payne 1 and 2. They made Alan Wake's American Nightmare, Quantum Break, and now Control. They also made Death Rally 2000. It's not good.
Come out in year 2000?
It's a very old game. It was one of the earliest things they made. It's like pre-Max Payne. They remade it for like iOS. Don't play it.
iOS? Damn.
Yeah, I don't even know if you buy it anymore. But yeah. Control, without spoiling too much, because Control is a dense game with a lot of moving parts, both figurative and literal. Control is heavily inspired by SCP fiction.
You mentioned that, but I thought you were kidding.
No, I'm not.
It is.
It is heavily inspired by SCP fiction.
That's
and-
I've seen
awesome.
bits of it. It's super.
That's
haven't played
awesome.
it,
What
but-
the fuck?
Yes, it is. It takes place in a setting called the Oldest House, which is
I love this.
a building whose interior betrays its exterior. It constantly shifts and changes. It is a place that you can only find if you know it is there and you believe it is there. It houses the Federal Bureau of Control, whose entire purpose is to investigate things called altered world events, or AWEs, and retrieve both objects of power and altered items.
When you say SCP fiction, or right, that's what you
Like
said?
the SCP Foundation.
Yes.
Yeah, so you're talking like for the layman.
SCP
Like
is
the Men in Black. kind of
no,
thing?
no.
Do you know SCP?
No.
SCP stands
Oh shit! We should.
Let's all
I got
talk at
this.
once.
Alright.
SCP stands for Super Clown Posse.
Yes.
God. It stands for Secure, Contain, Protect, and it's kind of like this sprawling like wiki.
It's kind of like it's freeform short stories about either fictional items or entities.
It's got the sort of frame of being like a secret organization that has to like contain these like anomalous items, and so every like entry on the wiki is like is about like a different sort of item or entity or like event.
Yes.
And
Yo.
you can like, they definitely like, because people can kind of independently contribute to it, I guess.
Yes,
So like
it's
they
freeform
definitely
fiction. There's
they super range from being like funny, being genuinely creepy, being like, oh, this is someone's fetish, to like it definitely.
They're
to a mix of the three.
Oh yeah.
My favorite.
But
is
there's some very good ones. There's just it's.
My favorite is a videotape that the recording of it is its own world, and if you rewind it, the world, it's like they time traveled and they don't know why they time traveled.
Oh,
And
Stuff
every
like
time
that.
it plays, they get more
I heard
fucked
Daniel
up.
Dwyer talk about this. Daniel Dwyer from No Clip talked about
Yeah.
this recently.
Oh yeah, no, there's some good shit, some good horror story shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like.
You were gonna say something?
I was gonna say it's like
I
hey,
was
if,
gonna say some
if
bullshit.
you no, yeah, no, I was gonna be like, it's like Men in Black, but what if they also had a
That's
ghost?
what I just said, and you all said no.
I think it's
Well,
like
he's
Men in
also
Black.
wrong.
Well, he's saying some
But
dumb.
you're both
shit.
wrong. The game concerns the Federal Bureau of Control, who is essentially this universe's SCP Foundation, in that it is a government agency completely tasked with determining when an altered world event happens, getting objects of power and altered items, and determining what exactly they do and containing them. Much like SCP, they vary from a Christmas tree that shimmers when you talk to it, to things that open portals to places where the Not Mother lives.
Not like KNOT.
N-O-T.
Not mom.
The Not Mother. Don't drink her milk, you'll get addicted and turn into something.
Are you? This
Well,
is
that
like a
sounds like
lot
someone's
more
fetish.
involved than
This-
I thought. It just like looked cool. I didn't know that this was like
this game
fucking.
But
has
also, like,
this game has the esteemed honor of having 1 million collectibles, and they are all interesting.
Yeah.
Which is something that does not happen in video games ever.
Yeah.
Like, every time I picked one up, I would stop and read it.
Yeah, me too.
They're all super interesting.
Oh, man.
It concerns a character named Jessie who is looking for her brother. I really can't say a lot about this game without spoiling it. I will say, so I'm a huge Alan Wake fan. Like, don't even get me started
You guys have...
on that franchise.
You two have compared it to Twin Peaks, right?
It's
Alan Wake is, yes.
It's aesthetically Twin Peaks, but it's much more Stephen King in terms of a lot of its...
Yes,
Okay.
to the point where Alan Wake is literally Stephen King as a character. He's a writer.
Really? Oh, okay.
The premise of Alan Wake is that he goes to a place called Cauldron Lake to get away, and that Cauldron Lake is a place that gives words and fiction power. So he enters kind of a fugue state and writes stuff, and his whole manuscript starts to become reality.
That's dope.
Alan Wake is...
You wanted me to play it like years...
Yeah,
like
I still think Alan Wake might be their defining word.
But this isn't really a spoiler.
If you Stephen King, then like by fugue state, do you mean like so many drugs?
No, I mean, he literally just blacks out and enters like a thing.
Coke Ray.
Yeah. But this isn't really a spoiler because I feel like it's all over the internet now. Control shares a universe with Alan Wake. Okay. It does so explicitly. So there's a lot of things that happen in it that when they happened, my jaw hit the floor because I'm like, oh my god, it's not over.
Yeah, you like kind of had like a nice fan.
Alan Wake 2 has been a game that has been like real on and off in terms of, are we making it? Are we not making it? Will we make it? Will we ever make it? It has been teased in Alan Wake American Nightmare, which is a weird little spin-off. It has been teased in Quantum Break. It is teased in this. And I just need them to either make this or for the company to go bankrupt. One of the two. Because I don't think my heart can stand this. Realistically, I know how this is going to go. They're going to announce it, and I'm going to like die in a plane crash or something. And I'm never going to experience Alan Wake 2. I'm going to go straight to hell where I watch people play Alan Wake 2. Everyone claps, and I can't see the thing.
That sounds pretty succinct.
Yeah, but Control also...
The real reason Ward is scared of airplanes.
Yes, because I'm never going to play Alan Wake 2.
I've never been on a plane.
It's not great.
I hate it.
You get to go to cool places, though. But yeah, Control also is a really good game, which is something Remedy has struggled with for a long time, of just nailing like a good gameplay feel. And man, does Control deliver. It's got some performance issues, which actually a patch just came out today about that.
How bad are performance issues?
Frame stuttering.
Base PS4 specifically, I actually thought it'd be
base
base
that's what I'd be getting it on.
Typically, base Xbox One is, as logic would probably dictate, the one that has the worst performance. Not the case with Control. The base PS4 is really, really rough, and it has like frame drops to the point where it drops to around 14 frames per second, and it stays
borderline unplayable.
Is it really? Because I was going to get it on there.
It's unplayable.
Should I get it on? I might get it on my
based
PC.
on footage I've seen, I think that's a little bit of hyperbole because it only seems to drop in like extreme cases. I'm also playing it on a base Xbox One. I think the reason that it doesn't drop as bad on that is because it's based on the Northlight engine, which was built for Quantum Break originally, which was an Xbox exclusive. So I think the engine is optimized for that better. But that whatever we're talking about now, per today, is probably not the case anymore because a patch just came out for the PS4 version.
But also, Ethan, I would say, even disregarding that, even if it is better on the PS4, if your PC's decent, play it.
My PC is decent.
Play it on PC.
Okay.
It's actually it's a game that's specifically better on PC across the board. In terms of a lot of visual effects and that sort of thing, it's really a showcase of where PC gaming is going.
Okay, because I have yet to play like a really...
It is very much a next-gen game on current-gen consoles.
Yeah, that's the thing. I haven't played anything that advanced on my PC yet. I've only played some like simpler games.
Ray tracing is the new buzzword, and this is one of the first games to really effectively seem to utilize it as a rendering solution.
Hello.
And the GoPro shut off.
Very cool. All right, well, we can wrap it up then. Thanks for watching so much. We have, like we mentioned in our last episode, we do have some social media. We have Instagram and Twitter up. So, follow those if you want, if you really like our show. Thank you for the people that are watching. We really appreciate it. We're having a really good time making this. And, if you also have any questions or any discussion topics, email us at this. And,
leave a comment. Leave a comment down below.
Leave a cool comment under Ward's head.
Leave a mean one. Leave a stinky one.
Do a little face.
Tell us how ugly all of us are.
Tell me how ugly I am specifically. Cyberbully me.
Let me see this finger.
Mention how much you miss
No!
RJ.
No!
Yeah.
Cut it.
Cut it.